What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Felt pretty bad early on. You had the sequence in which it's 4th and 1. They're going for the field goal. They take the delay game. You line up over the center. They send the offense back out there. It turns into a touchdown. Then you fumble because of a pass blocking breakdown. Carr stepping up in the pocket. All of a sudden you look at 17-7 against the Colts. And you're like, here we go again. And that's where you got to give. That's where I think you got to give some credit to the mental toughness from the New Orleans Saints, because they just got back to work, continued to work, and I thought that you really saw this game, the potential that we've all been talking about in the offseason, Jake, when it comes to the weapons that you have working in concert with one another, right? Like after it goes, like first off, the angle route by Kamara to score that first touchdown is everybody's favorite route ever. It was my Madden 09 speciality with Reggie Bush back in the day. If you get man and it's cleared out, it's just an easy score. But after that,
it's every player. I mean, every player's as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible for the linebacker to guard. Jack
Wright, Scat Wright, 9 stop, F cross M.
There you go.
I can tell you the exact play because I got it only on that play.
I mean, it's the best. But like that was great. But then still, it's 17-7, right? And that's when, again, you had the Mike Thomas big catch, Chris Olave big catch, and the Taysom Hill touchdown run. Suddenly it's 17-14. You get the Shaheed explosive touchdown. Then there's the Taysom big gain on the nice little outlet pass where he's under pressure. Taysom comes back. Jamal Williams even had a couple moments. Alvin Kamara big touch. So you're seeing that ball start to spread around. You're seeing them, like, we've talked so much about all of the different weapons that they had. Sunday felt like the first time this season where you finally took advantage of that plethora of weapons.
It did, and everybody was getting involved. And even when there was pressure, I thought that they played well. I thought Derek Carr played well. They pushed the ball down the field. I mean, and not just in 3rd and 1 situations like they have in the past. Now, they did that in this game to kind of close it out. It went 3rd and 1, but they closed it out on 3rd down going deep. Like, you use the totality of your weapons. I thought Taysom Hill, they had a plan. They had an idea of who he was going to be in this game, and he was key to this game as well. So, like, not only did, everybody kind of step up, but you also used the weapons. Like, Jamal Williams gets 6 carries. Taysom got 9. AK got 17. Like, I'm okay with that breakdown. Shaheed gets 3 catches. Thomas gets 4. Alvin gets 4. Olave gets 5. Like, that is what I thought the Saints needed to do. Spread the wealth. You have all of these weapons, and then go make plays.
Yeah, and you mentioned Rashid Shaheed. I mean, I love seeing the explosive plays, right? We've been seeing check down Derek. We were promised big play Carr, and we got more of the latter this game. The defense, not at their best, but, sometimes, like, they deserve a time for the offense to finally step up, and they still made plays along the way. Like the Adebo pick was great, especially turning that return back to getting that ball back to the 30, where maybe it looked like it could have potentially been a safety with after him breaking that first tackle. And then look, you gotta love the way, like you alluded to there, Jake, that Carr and Shaheed once again close out a game with a big time, big balls play when you gotta have it. Don't make the defense win it for you once again. Go ahead and ice it yourself. It's 3rd and 13, under 3 minutes left. You're up 1 score, and they brought the pressure. They were trying to make you into check down Derek once again. Great pass pickup by the line. Great pass pickup by Alvin Kamara. And next thing you know, Carr once again finds Shaheed's deep. You're in field goal range, and that is the game.
Yeah, I like on one of those long passes he threw to Shaheed. I saw something on Twitter where they get in the huddle and Shaheed said, Carr said, hey, if it's quarters, just run. Basically, if you see quarters, I don't care what route you had, just run.
Yeah, it was, that's good. And it worked perfect.
Because, see, I mean, he has different speed. Like, there's fast, and then there's, as we always say, fast. Well, he is fast. And there's things that he can do because of it that others just can't. I know Mark Sanchez on the broadcast will look, why would you ever go inside here? It's because he was setting up the defender, and he knows that nobody on this field is as fast as me. So I can go inside even on a go route because I can stem back outside, and he can't catch me. So those are things that Rashid Shaheed can do that really nobody else can because of the speed that he has. Like, you can break tendency. Because typically if you run a go, I mean, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to try to push forward, then you're going to go outside. You're going to try to, continue to have that fade. But when he knows that he can go any way that he wants to and end up back on top, well, that's an advantage for him. That's what he did in that last one.
Did you catch the stat on the broadcast about average speed yesterday?
Well, God, he was.
There are
16.
two players. Yeah, there's two players in the NFL that average over 15 miles an hour, and it's Tyreek Hill and Rashid Shaheed. So, like, in case you needed, if you are the company you keep, in case you needed any greater example of what Jake is talking about there with fast, you're talking about almost cheetah level speeds there with the average of 16. So it was just a fantastic game, man. It didn't always feel fantastic. I think I had some negative tweets at the beginning of the game, certainly. But again, credit the mental toughness, the team, the offense, and really just like looking great in all the ways that you wanted to, right? Deep plays in the pass game, taking advantage of the weapons, like you said, and red zone success, not bogging down. Whether it's getting Alvin Kamara the big run, Taysom Hill the big run, Alvin Kamara the angle route, finding ways to finish off drives really mattered this game. And Jake, speaking of red zone success, don't look now, but the Saints got a fullback.
Yeah, they got a big one.
They got a fullback,
dude. They got a big one.
Football's a funny game. Think about it. Jake started as nose guard in his football career and then ended up as a fullback. Kalen Saunders taking the opposite route, starting at his nose guard and now ending up as a fullback. How about it?
I mean, he's actually doing a really nice job.
Bro, he's actually got incredible technique.
Yeah.
Like, he's reading the holes well. He's clearing guys out. Like, I'm actually shocked at how good his technique is. It wasn't just one play. It was multiple plays.
Yeah, a lot of times you put a D lineman in there, and he's just, like, trying to clear space.
Yes.
They don't really have any technique, and they almost go in there like old Pee-wee football, like with their arms up and their knuckles touching, right? And that's not the case. I mean, he read a power yesterday. He cut inside of it one time because the way he kicked out the blocker, he goes up and hits the linebacker. I'm like, okay, like this is different. This is not your typical defensive tackle just trying to clear space. And Taysom's got so much patience on that power run.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people rush it because you think you have to, obviously get to the line as fast as you can. But his patience on that, and then you got Saunders out there clearing out. It's a really nice package that I thought they used really well yesterday for Taysom.
Well, and really, I mean, so this, okay, if I wanted to get into random thoughts, there is a conversation to be had about the Jamal Williams signing now in hindsight. We're like, is this, I wonder how much value Williams can actually bring to this team because, what was he kind of being painted as? Granted, maybe this had to do with a lot of the Kamara suspension and he just didn't end up playing that much, but like, he was going to be your kind of short. Yeah, he's a short yardage guy. That's what he does. It is a skill, like we said. He's incredible getting short yardage. But when I see a package with Taysom Hill, a jumbo O-line, and Kalen Saunders, like, I don't know what else I want on the field in short yardage because it's so incredibly hard to stop. You got so much size. You got an extra blocker. And look, Jamal Williams had his moments this game for sure.
Yeah,
so that was great to
5
see.
for 30.
Yeah, it was great
also,
to see.
I thought it was great in pass protection as well.
Yeah, and all I mean is like it's just maybe I just have to adjust my own vision for what I thought it was going to be at the beginning because the Taysom Hill short yardage package is just so damn effective right now. And especially with the emergence of a guy like Saunders, it becomes even more powerful and overwhelming feeling.
Well, I mean, it gives you so many different options when Taysom's in there. I mean, how many times can you truly have a short yardage back that can make any throw? And you might roll your eyes, make any throw. Yeah, come on, let's don't be dumb. I mean, he might not make it
for sure.
consistently enough to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He can make every throw. And, I mean, it gives you something that nobody else in the league has. And Gus Bradley, the Colts defensive coordinator, said that. He's like trying to prepare for Taysom. What's the comp? He said there's not one. There's not a guy that can do all the things that he does back there to make you prepare for them. Now, the Saints always kind of get into trouble of when to use it, how much to use it, and all that. But when they use it right, it is a very effective weapon.
And the last thought I had of the game, Yayo Odangbo, got to be a top 5 name in the entire NFL. I was thinking about this. Both of his names sounds like an exclamation of surprise. Like, yeah, yo, oh, dang, Bo. Like, both his first and last name sound like you saw something that was kind of impressive, but just two completely different people, right? A country guy and maybe a more like city guy. Hey, dang, Bo. Hey, look at that, man. And that's my final thoughts.
Mario, you said on the
Saints
broadcast next time.
I will. I'm going to now.
Well, I mean, look, at the time, it wasn't a laughing matter when he came up with the turnover. But all's well and, all's fair in love and football.
I thought,
when you win.
speaking of the Saints defense, I know they gave up some points and some yards, but I thought Paulson Adebo probably had his best game of the year. I think Alontae Taylor got challenged a couple times, and Alontae Taylor's an interesting player because there's flashes of really, really good, and then there's like, what are you doing? But, I think it's more the flashes of the good side of Alontae Taylor, and you feel like he's really close to just turning himself over to being that good player.
Another thing actually that I do want to mention, something that struck me this weekend, and it's both with Zion Williamson and Demario Davis, right? Both of these guys are obvious known quantities, but they are both special in ways that every time I watch them, I'm always shocked. And again, with Davis, it's just his speed. To be chasing guys down, to have the closing speed that he has at his age on an NFL film will never not boggle my mind. And with Zion, it just continues to be the touch around the rim. Like, we see it all the time, so eventually you just have to accept that it is what it is. But with those two guys, I just can't. It always blows my mind. So, yeah, again, not a dominant day from the defense, but shout out to Mario Davis nonetheless, making some big plays, including chasing down Gardner Minshew early on and kind of putting him on the back heel by making him fight through that injury. Not that you don't want to ever set out to hurt a guy, right? But it was a big play, holds them to a field goal when they're on the 1 yard line. A big moment in that game. Otherwise, you could have been looking at 21-7. And again, you made Minshew fight through some things.
And it's also nice to see Brian Brzee be a first-round defensive lineman and play well for the Saints.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say.
You could say just first-round lineman.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Certainly defensive, linemen in the history of the Saints, but, this year, because you don't want to bring it up sometimes, but as well as the offense played, those passing grades.
Are they really bad? Because I felt like it was a little better.
Well,
yesterday.
You know what? Ryan Ramczyk looked like Ryan Ramczyk yesterday, and I thought Pete actually had a nice game, but Garcia and Ruiz just
Ruiz continues to struggle.
Our play is just poor.
So it's but that's where it's like if you want to go full, just like silver lining, it's like Ruiz got dominated that one play, but then Hill comes back to the ball and Carr finds a way to flip it out to him, ends up turning like a 12-yard gain. So I don't know, maybe they're learning how to deal with it better than just throw it short to Alvin Kamara.
I think the guard play is so poor that it's actually hindering Eric McCoy from playing to his capability.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It almost feels like he has no help, and he's sometimes trying to do too much because he knows how bad it is on both sides of him.
Yeah. And it's those positions are inextricably linked.
You would know that way better than we would playing the center position. Yes, you can be really good center, but if you feel like you're not getting help on either side, and then you're kind of on an island, and then when you're not on an island, you're like, well, I got to help him because he's struggling. Then the other guy's struggling. It's like, well, which one do I help now more?
Well, also, I've seen the reverse where great guards make a whatever center look incredible because you have two great guards next to you, and so it doesn't really matter how good or bad your center is because he's completely covered up at that point. So that's some good insight, I would say there, Jake. So the Saints win, big win. They cover as well. I think they were favored by 2 in this game. And all of a sudden, NFC South standing check. Falcons dropped to Will Levis and the Titans. Now the Saints and the Falcons tied at 4-4. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.